Hello, my name is Kyle Hirschfeld, and I'm going to be talking to you today about Abigail Adams. Now, Abigail Adams has long been considered an important and influential figure in American history as a result of her feminist policies, in addition to her influence upon her husband John's political sense. While their marriage was indeed one of love, it was also one of remarkable intellectual character on both sides. Abigail's early life prepared her for the hardships which would come with being First Lady. Additionally, her strong sense of morals and of common sense lent her a fiscal responsibility which would prove beneficial to their marriage, which was somewhat lacking in the cases of Thomas Jefferson and James Madison, who both died without leaving a lasting financial legacy to their descendants. Martha's experiences with feminist literature and in promoting the cause of women laid the foundation for much of what we see today in women's rights. Early on in their marriage, Abigail was involved in public life almost from the beginning, and thus had a decades-long apprenticeship before becoming the First Lady. She held public roles during the American Revolution as a vote counter in the 1780 Massachusetts election, in addition to questioning suspected loyalist women. She was also an astute political observer and sharply reflected on women's rights, European politics, and the quickly unraveling events of the new republic. As wife of the vice president early on in the republic, she took on a full social schedule and built alliances with the capital's politicians and their wives. She was also an avid reader of feminist literature, which is evidenced by her usage of quotes in her letters. She wouldn't attribute these quotes to the authors who wrote them, so oftentimes it's difficult to ascertain where these quotes came from. However, one historian has said that Adams and another woman named Nancy Shippen Livingston both used the same exact quote in their letters, which were completely unrelated to each other. And that quote was, "Such of us as know how to be happy willingly give up the harsh title of master for the more tender and endearing one of friend." And this is in relation to the relationship between men and women, husbands and wives. What is the duty of the husband? Is it to be the master, or is it to be the friend of the wife? And this comes from the book The History of Emily Montagu, a travelogue which was written by English author Frances Brooke. In this novel, the young women who are the protagonists are independent actors and are not reliant upon their husbands for the way in which they live their lives. One historian attributes John's financial security primarily to Abigail's shrewd business dealings and successful financial speculation schemes. And this comes from her parents. Her parents early on instilled in Abigail a sense of moral duty to those who were less fortunate, and a religious life that emphasized morality and reason, which would serve her well when John was frequently absent in their marriage as a result of his political necessities. When he was away, she was responsible for the children's education, as well as running the house, farm, and finances. As Adams's political career climbed, so too did his time away from home, and as a result of that, Abigail's influence at their home grew. One quote that I thought was particularly fascinating from Adams is that, "You remark upon the deficiency of education in your countrymen. If you complain of the neglect of education in sons, what shall I say in regard to daughters, who every day experience the want of it? With regard to the education of my own children, I find myself soon out of my depth and destitute and deficient in every part of education." She concluded that if we mean to have heroes, statesmen, and philosophers, we should also have learned women. And that's Abigail Adams. Thanks for watching.